have done this to me. I would just like you to know that. Huh. Okay.
Yeah, anyway. The Warwick banned off an ARAM game. We won't talk about it.
Huh.
But in terms of comps, I'm looking here at, the side of Harmonix, and I'm just seeing 5 champs. Or at least, Lilia, I wouldn't expect to see get through Champ Select. I wouldn't expect to see Trundle get through Champ Select, and they're both here.
Okay, so on the rift for game 1 of the day. GGEL versus Harmonix. Definitely game 1. There definitely wasn't anything else that went on before this.
Nothing happened on January 27th at 6 o'clock in the evening.
Nothing happened. If you say it did, it didn't. Trust me.
Looks like we're seeing the 5-man invade here from the side of Good Game Easy Life, which it's going to get spotted out early by Eclipse, ward dropped, and that's going to be at the end of that. Which does mean here that, as you can see, Wibbly and Gwen Scottani moving in to get that deep ward on the blue buff, so they will know roughly where this jungler's going.
Yeah, they will definitely be able to get an idea on Juicy Boy Jamie's pathing with the Graves. I don't know who got XP for the ward kill there.
I think the entire team did, so it's not going to make any impact, because it would have been too diluted.
Thank you, Twitch chat, for the pronunciation advice for Mukkuskio. Yeah, that's what I thought, man. I have no idea. Yeah.
How about we go with Dave?
yeah, let's do that. let's do that. That's just easier.
But both junglers here starting on their red boss. We'll see Graves opt do the leash push, which isn't surprising when that champ is basically the healthiest clearer in the game. We will see a small side leash here from Wibbly to Gwen Scottani, because Lilia does struggle a little bit with these early clears that stay healthy. But yeah, both junglers looking at their pathing red side to the other side, and yeah, see what happens.
But
great,
even with giving that leash, Wibbly asserting some control onto Big A just by taking control of the health bars, running at the Camille and bonking the Trundle, really able to do a lot. Now has the level 2 as well, so can run forward. Just going to be wave clear central here in the mid lane as the Swain and the Victor bounce waves. But top lane, we're going to actually see fighting. And yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Thoughts? Big A going to dive forward, finds a stun onto Wibbly, Ignite goes down, the Frozen Domain not going to be enough, and Big A picks up a first blood. So GGEL coming out the gates swinging here.
So yeah, despite, the prowess that Trundle does have in these early levels, Big A does manage to whittle down Wibbly's health bar and, take this early lead. It will force Wibbly to teleport back into lane, but still, since it is Camille, we can just forgo Flash.
He does have the lethal tempo and the Flash, though. There's the Attack on Titan Omni movement gear. I forgot the name of the ability. Hook shot, that's the one. To get Big A out of danger. Hook just snaps onto a minion. Davis with the knock-up. Nice trade coming through from Eclipse. Arrow lands as well.
The worst part is about that hook is, it's a 50-50 that lands or it doesn't.
Yeah, totally. Like, Nautilus Hook is one of the weirdest abilities in this game for how the hitbox works.
I mean, again, just remember that thing used to spin in the air as opposed to having a clear hitbox.
Yeah, I know. But no real early CS leads of note developing here. Mid lane is 1 CS, bot lane is 1 CS. Top lane, yeah, it's 6 CS for Wibbly, but he's a kill down. And, Big A has just bought a Sheen, so that that Camille is gonna hurt a little bit. Just a little bit, Nice pull for the stacks on Swain. And there's a DC for Wibbly. Although it doesn't look like he's DC'd. It looks like he's still fighting. Oh, it's a replay. Never mind. Replays, yeah. Oh my god.
It's not a replay, we're just spectating the first game.
Yeah, no, we're spectating game 1 of the day. What do I mean? That was the quickest pause in history. Oh, I'm losing my mind.
One thing to Mr. Producer, oh
yeah.
Yeah.
We've got game two's graphics are on the stream for some reason. I promise you guys, this is game 1. This is GGEL versus Harmonix. This is game 1, and it was always supposed to be game 1.
We are gonna see here.
It's early dragon.
Good game, easy life. Trading the dragon for grubs in their entirety.
Now, typically, and this might just be like a ERL LEC like level thing, but typically it's blue team that normally get the grubs to start with, and red side that prioritize on the dragon. But big trade coming through onto Dabis as the grubs do come through, all 3 of them in Scott's back pocket.
I mean, yeah, the main thing is like the Trundle and the Camille, these 2 very good split push champions. With grubs, if they connect to towers, the towers will disappear.
Yeah, if you can get your Trundle 6 grubs, he is going to tear the side lane apart.
For his next magic trick, he'll eat a tower. But yeah, even with like Big A getting that early first blood, it's still a very even game just due to higher CS counts for the most part on the side of Harmonix.
Yeah, but GGEL trading really, really nicely here in the bot lane. Dabis poked down, so he's going to be forced out, not able to look for an engage when he's that low. But the Vision of Empire cancelling that back, going to really enable them to get these waves shoved up and actually forces the Rakan to stay.
As far as games go, though, this is so far very slow compared to some of these games in UNL, which just end up being knife fights across the map.
Yeah, it's just one like 30-minute long team fight. But no, not going to be seen here. Wibbly looking to try and answer back, avenge his own death for that first blood. But Big A, hook shot really just helping him to get away from that pillar.
I mean, yeah, I don't think Camille can use the hook shot for the most part aggressively, because if she does, Trundle will just right-click her face. So it's definitely, I'd say it's a matchup that if Camille's patient, she can outscale, but I don't think most players want to sit there and get bored for half an hour.
Well, Big A currently looking like he is more than happy to sit around and do that. Has already reaped the benefits of taking the Ignite with the solo kill, with the first blood. And I can completely understand him not wanting to do anything too aggressive and throw away that lead now, which he seems more than happy to do.
Oh yeah, one thing I forgot to even pick up on was the fact that it is going to be, again, another lethality Varus this game. With the Hail of Blades picked up, we see a Dirk now appearing as well.
But I think with a Lilia and with a Victor, that's alright. I think you have enough damage coming through from elsewhere, especially with the Trundle as well, if he chooses to join a team fight. You have enough damage from external sources that your Varus can afford to go
I think
lethality. With
this comp, when like your frontline champion's a Trundle who doesn't really want to be frontlining in fights anyway, because he'd rather just be...
Hook lands on the lips. Does have depth charge available. Are they going to throw it down? Vision of Empire not going to connect. Juicy Boy Jamie was ready to go, but no dice.
But yeah, in these fights where the only frontline you have is Rakan, and he really does not count as frontline, definitely taking these champions that can play at range is a lot safer than, trying to actually stay in range to right-click people with Varus.
No, definitely. It's a much safer option than going for a fist fight, right? Like, It's going to mean that Eclipse can stay much further back, is at much lower risk, and can almost match the range of the Victor.
Yeah, we do see
a fight kicking off here. The Swain ult is popped. The Demonic Ascension comes through. Damage going across, but Wibbly chunking down this Swain. Scott finding the kill. Juicy Boy Jamie trying to kite out. Does fire out the collateral damage for the extra dash. But the flash under the tower will pick up one. Camille answering back with a Hex Tech Ultimatum. Big A looking to try and do more here. Dashing forward with the Blast Cone onto Scott. Doesn't quite have the hook shot available. Diving forward now onto Feb. Gonna pick up one. 2 for 2 so far on the trade. Can Big A win out? No. Lilia twirls her staff and shuts the fight down.
So ends up being a 2 for 3. Does put Harmonix here in the lead. Only 800 gold right now, but could potentially as well lead straight into Grubs, since we have seen Wibbly teleport immediately straight back to that top lane tower and hit it since the minion wave was pushed up. With Big A's death timer being so delayed, we'll see him teleporting in back in now. Fight
potentially under threat. Eclipse with an arrow, nearly finishing off Westy, but the Sivir doing just enough, buying her Nautilus some space. And a small lead is growing here in the bot lane for GGEL.
Yeah, meanwhile, we will see like Grubs 4, 5, and 6 here just picked up 4-3.
Yeah,
from
all of the Kevins.
I say 4-3, it will be at the cost of this second Drake.
All of the Kevins for Harmonix.
So, yeah,
but
we'll
two
see...
dragons. Dragon Soul win condition is on the table, and it's Infernal Soul, which is one of the more powerful ones, I would argue.
Also, with the buffed Infernal Rift now, with each Cinder providing, is it 0.6 ability haste as opposed to 0.3?
Yeah, 0.6.
So,
I don't know why they added the Cinders. It feels like another just pointless Riot Games mini game that they have added. But maybe that's just me. I don't know. Watching the big fiery explosions is also quite satisfying whenever someone dies. So I don't know. But we're going to see an all-in from the Swain in the mid lane. Diving forward, popping the ult very aggressively. Westy joining in a bit late. Scott is in the area, so should be dissuaded from going for anything further. Here comes a depth charge, though. Juicy Boy Jamie diving forward. They're going to just execute the Victor. Feb falling very, very fast and not able to answer back on the side of Harmonix.
Yeah, it feels like Feb got a bit too comfortable there, not realising that Juicy Boy Jamie was there in tow to actually capitalise off the Nautilus.
Yeah, maybe he thought his Lilia was a bit closer and he could bait them in for Scott to turn things around, as we see a hook go wide there.
I think Westy will be happy to see that one miss, because you know, Joshua Kujo was nowhere near close enough to actually follow up on that.
But that one lands. That one's not half bad. The spell shield blocking away the knockup, but Eclipse throws down the chains of corruption. Arrow's going to go wide though, as Dabis with the quickness trying to make his escape, but the hook pulling him back in. A little bit more damage on to the back of the Rakan, as the Swell Seed is blocked out by the minions. Ooh, another hook lands. Dabis is hunted, and Oswald finds one, still having the movement speed but buff. Ghost and Flash in tow, but opting to focus on the wave.
So Dallas looking for the re-engage there. Unfortunately ends up missing, costs him his life, and with Gwen Skotani being shown on the bot side for solo, will also end up meaning that red buff will be picked up for free here.
Yeah, nice steal away from Juicy Boy Jamie. This is a very, very fed Lilia with the 3 early kills, so any little bit of jungle stealing that you can manage is going to be very nice. It's going to feel real good. And the Graves rushing for this Hubris.
I was just about to mention, it is interesting to see the Hubris picked up here first, as that is a very much a snowball reliant item. I would be more comfortable seeing the Yumu's picked up here.
I would have to agree.
You know, if he ends up finding these early kills, you know, we can't punish it.
No.
But yeah, we see pretty much the majority of Harmonix here all rotating straight onto this Rift Herald, trying to capitalize, and they've got the 6 grubs. Herald crashing with them it's pretty much 2 towers if you're playing it correctly.
Yeah, it feels like it's 1.5 towers at minimum, getting a Rift Herald with 6 grubs. Like you say, likely to grab the second if you time it properly with the waves. But another trade here in the top lane. Wibbly and Big A just going hell for leather, punching each other in the face.
And yeah, it'd be interesting to see, because like none of the towers really.
Where is Westy going? Why is he that far behind? Chains of Corruption come down. The Charm's going to land as well. He's going to get slowed up. The Hook trying to get himself to safety as the On the Hunt is popped. It's not going to be enough. Questionable positioning, you would have to say.
I don't even see a deep ward, so was it just taking embers?
But well capitalized on from Harmonix. Donating the kill over to, I believe that kill went over to Feb.
I can only assume Westy was that far into enemy terrain to pick up cinders, because there's no deep wards.
No. But why do you need to be that far into enemy terrain to pick up cinders?
we need the 0.6 haste.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing. What difference, like, on a Nautilus hook, what difference does 0.6 ability haste mean? You have, like, what, like a third of a second less cooldown, if that.
Yeah, I don't know what was happening.
The Swain's in trouble. Nice flash dodges away from all of the incoming CC. Herald dropped in the mid lane as well, as the Demonic Ascension's going to come through. AoE Blast goes out, but there is not a lot of damage going through. The Swain doesn't take a lot of damage, but he can't output a lot either, is what I was initially going to say. But the Hook, Westy again landing another, but the Dragon will be secured by GGEL. They're going to look for a fight now, as Westy will be the first to fall, put to sleep in the literal sense. As Juicy Boy Jamie going to flash out. Wibbly going in, 1 versus 4, pops the Subjugate, looking onto the Swain, but not going to find anything. A little bit of over-aggression creeping in, but Wibbly also nearly able to actually pull that off.
So I think the initial goal there was to, just follow them over the wall, kill the low health target, but yeah, the Hextech Ultimatum just completely locked him down and meant he wasn't able to go anywhere.
Yeah, really, really nice execution from GGEL to be able to layer everything to protect those low health members and, shut down a big threat on the side of Harmonix. All of the first items now pretty much completed. I don't think there's anything particularly standing out. What do you think? Anything odd you see in the items?
No, these all seem particularly normal to me.
What I am seeing, there is a very
on top lane.
Yeah, what I'm seeing is a very, very dead, potentially, probably should be a very dead Camille. It's not going to be a very dead Camille, because that's a lot of damage back onto Scott. Juicy Boy Jamie and Westy now in the area, so it's a 3 versus 2 in the favour of GGEL. But Lilia going to be escorted away as Dabis joins the fray to even up the numbers. And with Wibbly regenning faster than he would do on Fountain, because of the Subjugate, the fight's going to be over, but Westy tagged on the backside, burning, but won't fall thanks to the shield, as Scott eats a tower shot for the Leandri's burn.
Yeah, don't end up finding any kills, but they do manage to output enough damage that, again, with those grubs, as a group, they will just shred the towers.
And we might see the inner tower fall.
It's halfway gone. Only Trundle's really
on the hunt. Going to be popped. Westy going to be the first casualty. The Nautilus absolutely eviscerated from the fight. Teleport coming in from MC Cooks, as all of the kills actually starting to fall in the favour of GGEL. 2 for 1 so far on the fight. Swain probably going to make it 3. No, not quite. Feb just about flashing over the wall, but Dabis will fall. Juicy Boy Jamie is taking off the Graves, getting fed. That hubris paying dividends, finding Eclipse now as well. The smoke screen comes down and Big A secures a 4th.
So that feels like it could be a big swing point, especially since they have already 3 Drakes. They are 1 away from that soul point. The Hubris finally getting to see some stacks, picks up 3 in that fight.
Yeah, really, really big to get those stacks on the Hubris for Juicy Boy Jamie. Really going to help propel this Graves forward in the fights. So we won't see it this game. I'm just looking at the support items because I've seen something going around on Twitter about about something that like supports should be trying to do. So you know how you get like the choice of like the 5 support items when you complete your quest now. So I've seen some people. So like from I don't know which one's the best one. Apparently, like the Slay is really, really good early game because of like the healing and whatever. So I've seen loads of people, or I've seen like reports of like loads of people on Twitter taking the Slay for the early game, getting to about like 2 items, selling it, rebuying the support item, and then taking, I think it's the one that both supports in this game have got, because it's better when you go late in the game. But the Slayer's just because the Slayer's flat values, and I think this one is like percentage values or something. And I don't know, maybe it's something that will start becoming more common. It's just really interesting because it's
Wait, you can change your supply item?
yeah, you can.
Huh?
Yep.
Like, that. Since when did they add depth to support? What the hell?
I know. I know.
Like,
it's not relevant. It's not relevant to this game because neither of the supports are probably going to do it. But you know, this support item I think is one of the better ones when you get into the late game, especially with these 2 frontlining champions. As we're going to see a dragon started up by Harmonix, and they need to secure this actually to deny the Infernal Soul from GGEL. But teleport's being channeled. Everyone coming into the fight. As we're going to see a lot of posturing here in the river. Swain over the back of the pit, looking to join up with his team.
does have the flash potentially look for a big one.
Okay, no steal to come through. Dabis going to be popping the quickness, diving onto the Swain. Demonic Ascension comes through but does nothing. Second kill of the fight onto Westy, dropping like flies now. GGEL. Sivir trying to run, standing and delivering her life over to Harmonix. A 4th kill falls as the Death Laser takes down the Graves. Scott flashing over the wall, trying to find Big A. Stun going to come down for the Camille. Hextech Ultimatum. Can Big A answer back at all? He does find one. Now hunting, but he's just going to let the Camille leave as Harmonix pick up some towers.
I do think, unfortunately, where Gwen Scotani wasn't able to find the kill on Big A, that it probably does cost him just the free Herald here. It doesn't end up being all doom and gloom, because again, they got the Dragon, they've got 2 towers mid lane. It's a 4-for-1 fight at the end of the day, which puts them again on the forefront of this game in terms of gold, 1.5k gold lead.
But like you say, that could have been Baron if the Lilia lives.
Yeah, obviously hindsight's 20/20, but potentially just letting the Big A get out and taking the Baron could, potentially been a bigger lead. But again, taking 2 towers mid lane completely opens up the map, and you can't be too upset with that result either way.
Especially with the first one of those 2 towers being an objective bounty. It was objective bounties on the side of Harmonix before that fight. It was about a 3k gold lead and 3 dragons to 0. So, objective bounty for the dragon, objective bounty for mid-outer. A lot of gold injected into the pockets of Harmonix here.
But yeah, it's probably just going to end up being a Baron dance here. We see, both these mid laners should end up being in the bot lane here, as they're the 2 people with TP. We already see February 14th down there. We see Makuski heading down there as well. And it is just going to be the classic Baron dance at 20 minutes because there's nothing else on the map to find.
Yeah.
Which, with Harmonix being able to, break down outer and middle turret on top and mid lane. They've got a lot of map to play with here in terms of actually trying to set up for this Baron, along with having, the ideal side for it.
Yeah. It will be interesting to see who will come out on top. But what catching a support could be the way in. Juicy Boy Jamie flashing away from the Rakan Charm knock up at the last second. Lots of cooldowns being burned here. Camille on the flank, but is sat on vision. So they do know that Big A is waiting.
Oh,
Nice.
Okay, Pillarman!
Nice interrupt. Very nice interrupt there on the Camille. But Big A onto Dabis. Hextech Ultimate him carrying Big A over the wall. I don't know if he wanted to go that far as the hook will come through on to Gwen Scottani. The stopwatch going to keep him alive as Westy going to pick up the first kill. Dabis going to drop the Rakan out of the way. Juicy Boy Jamie chunk low though. Big A following in his footsteps as Wibbly finds the first kill of the fight. Swain not quite able to output enough damage, and it's Oswald again left on his own to try and fight, but it's not going to be enough. A double kill for the Trundle, an ace for Harmonix, and most likely a Baron to go with it.
Not quite an ace. Juicy Boy Jamie is still standing.
Oh, okay.
Don't get too excited.
I'm getting ahead of myself, sorry.
Either way, that should just end up being a free Baron realistically, which should, with the Baron buff, probably lead into being able to secure this next Drake again, staving away that soul point. As for Good Game Easy Life, I'd say that is their main win condition, is trying to secure that Infernal Soul, but again, with Baron stats and a team that's now going to be, almost 5k gold ahead of you, the only realistic avenue is setting up a chokehold early or looking for a steal.
Yeah,
Again, it does look like they are going to be trying to try and set up this chokehold, but... Oh.
Fair enough.
Okay, we're back.
We back. But yeah, no, I agree. You have to flip, almost not like flip the dragon, but you almost have to just let Juicy Boy Jamie just go for it, because at this point, like you say, with Harmonix being as strong as they are, you lose a fight, you pretty much lose the game.
Yeah, they do. They have this early positioning on the dragon here, so they're not securing their borders though. They're being allowed to walk in for free.
Westy diving forward onto Wibbly. No one in range to contest the dragon, and it does go down. Infernal Soul is picked up as Westy falls. Second kill of the fight as well, going to go for Harmonix. Big A causing chaos in the backline, but it's not enough. Wibbly kills his backline quicker. 4 for 1 so far. Going to be 5 for 1, you have to imagine, as Dabis pops the Graves up into the air. Ace for Harmonix, and with the Baron buff, you'd expect that to be game.
6 grubs, Baron buff, this should just be game, set, and match right here as well. Like, their death timers are also somewhat delayed, so...
I mean, Westy's alive. He can defend 1v4, right?
Yeah. Trust. Yeah, we've even got a second wave of minions here to join the party.
Yeah, true. Oh,
it does look
they're
like
opting
they're
not
gonna...
to end.
Safer play.
Yeah.
But I feel like we could have ended soon, just minions alone have taken off half of one of those towers.
Yeah.
But again, this is an entirely open map bar bot lane. They just have to, sit 5 bot and just slowly chuck the game out.
Are we going to see an incident? Because there is an Infernal Soul on one of these teams, Mr. God of War. And...
I mean, with an Infernal Soul in that fight, it didn't even look close.
No, you're not wrong, but this is also a Sivir who is scaling. And that fight, the setup was not ideal for GGEL. Now they can just sit in their base and turtle further. They have the wave clear. They have Swain. They have Sivir. I don't know.
I mean, with the residuals of this Baron buff here before they wear out, they should be able to at least take bot out, potentially bot in around the inhib as well. And there's not really much.
5 seconds left on the Baron. So that is going to drop off now. But it is still an 8,000 gold lead. And yeah, even without Baron buff, if you have an 8k gold lead, you should be able to just force these towers down with the super minions in top and mid. The waves aren't in the base yet, but they are prepped quite well. They should be hitting the base at around about the same times. So all you have to do really is keep the enemy team here, try and poke them off as best as you can with this Victor, with this Varus, and there should not be a way out. It's now just a question of when does GGEL pull the trigger, because surely there's going to be a moment that presents itself here where there's an opportunity and they have to capitalize on that opportunity and just throw everything into a fight.
Yeah, that not much, time left in order for them to pull said trigger. So we do see Whibley walking into the base here to try and help these super minions through.
Yeah. As the piercing arrows just continue to land, but a catch onto Dabis forces out the flash from Westy to get himself to safety.
Yeah, that's an interesting sentence. A pick on someone forces someone else to flash away from them.
Yeah.
Because the dredge line unfortunately goes wide. He ends up putting himself into the enemy team and just has to immediately dip.
Immediately abandon ship and just, try and not die. And now they're going to commit onto Whibley. So they have to commit on one side. They are going to commit onto the two. But Westy is getting eaten alive. Big A doing what he can. Locks him up in the Hextech Ultimatum. And Juicy Boy Jamie finds the shutdown going over to the Swain. And, it's only a, 700 gold shutdown? 500 gold shutdown? Something like that. But that now dissuades the push. There is no 4-1. There is only a 4, and this just buys GGEL more time to soak these waves, soak the XP, and soak the gold.
I mean, they're not going to have too much time to be soaking stuff when Baron and Eldra are both going to be in the table in 40 seconds.
Your fair point, but they've just got to commit on one and hope that Harvey's Angels have gone for the other. Basically. Sounds really simple when you put it like that, I guess, but yeah, you just got to commit on one of the two objectives and pray the enemy team aren't there.
I mean, both teams, again, should be vying for the Elder here. But, again, we've seen, Harmonix have the stronger team fight, so...
I really, really like the deep ward in bots in red buff jungle, in GGL's jungle. There's a perfect flank TP for Whibley, should he choose to look for it. It's very, very deep flank, but
we do have the flash up here for the flash sleep. Oh.
Ooh, nice. Knocking Whibley away. Juicy Boy Jamie going to get slept, but not any follow-up going to come down onto it. And Gwen Scottani stunned up and in the Zhonya's. Flashing away, Redemption going to come down as the Sivir is deleted from the fight. And it's just a procession. Whibley leading the charge as it's going to be another ace over to the side of Harmonix.
And this one should
should be game over. Because that is a clean 5-0. But yeah, I mean, they probably could have ended it sooner. But overall, relatively clean from Harmonix. Didn't need to give over a soul, but they did manage the 6 grubs. Yeah, I don't know. Well played, Harmonix.